What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another Cranky Ducklings cast. You are currently watching Battle of the Americas number 34, the tournament where you can battle if you're from any of the Americas, North or Latin America. And I'm Yodaslim, joined by Light VIP. How are you doing, Light?
What's up, Yodaslim? We're here, we're back, and mate. So a lot's
Anybody's game.
a lot has happened, and by that I mean it's more about the lack of what's happened. Mate, where's Cham?
Yeah. I think he's just enjoying his victory from earlier today.
I mean,
So I think he's chilling. I don't think he's a pretty dedicated guy, but he's in the finals of DreamHack, so he's kind of a big deal.
just a little bit. Oh boy, just a little bit of a big deal.
Yeah.
But yes, exclamation mark B in the chat if you want to have a look at that bracket. And we still have a pretty large round of 16, but we are missing a couple of players, and it makes sense, right? Like we have Cham, who's playing in DreamHack, and we have all the NA players who are getting ready because they're playing in DreamHack in just a couple of days.
Yep, indeed. So it's a weird time here at the end of the year. Well, I guess the beginning of the year. End of the year for big events, but for us it's kind of like the beginning of the end of the year. I don't know. I feel like this is gonna be cool. There's gonna be no major events, just the weekly events, and that's what everyone's gonna be looking to. And then I think these are gonna start to get stacked lineups here as the year ends, because it's gonna be a while, I think, before we get anything. I don't think we'll have an event early on in the year. Like at least the first month.
Yeah, that's the thing that's really up in the air, because normally at the beginning of the year it's like Katowice, and even then that's in March. So like we're gonna have a period where it's like almost 4 months where we don't have any major events.
Which is something like that has happened recently, so it's kind of interesting to see how things, it's like a new settling we're coming to. But we are here. If you guys were here yesterday, you probably know this guy. I don't know if I even noticed that he was from Mexico, but it's top left-hand corner of the map. It is pink or purple. I'm not quite sure on what this color is. What would you call that, Light? Pink?
Pink.
It is the pink Terran player. It is WhiteIdra.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Lightshade LE. We saw him yesterday. It is the red Protoss player representing the land of Bolivia. It is MooD.
Is this the same matchup we started with last time?
So, if you recall, the reason why I wanted to jump into this, yesterday we casted WhiteIdra versus Paco Mike.
Yeah. Oh, it was Paco Mike, that's right. And we told him to come here today, and he did, so that's cool.
Yeah, he's back, he's ready, and yesterday he was able to take a game off of Paco Mike, and like MooD is a pro, he is, a GM, but I would say he is a little bit of a lower caliber compared to Paco Mike.
Yeah, so these should work a little bit better on him than they did Paco Mike.
Exactly.
Which is scary, because like you said, they got a game off of Paco Mike, one of those cheeky builds here.
Yeah, and we're getting it. So this is great. This is a very map specific thing, but there is a little area here that MooD doesn't have vision of.
Yeah, he's going for the factory.
Oh boy. So
there's a lot of different variations of this, and I want to send him one probably, because I just want him to learn this one. But I just saw TY. He went for one where he proxied a barracks and then made Marauders, and then went for a Hellion drop with the Marauders, and Marauder Hellion. That was impossible to defeat.
Yeah,
and I think he did the same thing, built a bunker for defense or for distraction.
That's the thing.
That's what's going on right now. The bunker for distraction. The Widow Mine.
Yeah, like the proxy Marauder does so well, especially against Protoss, because like with Marauders you just chunk away at Stalkers, you chunk away at like shield batteries or pylons as well. Like Marauders just don't care.
Yeah, and the Hellions just do splash and tank a lot of shots and can move around, and they're very fast. They're like the Adepts, I think. So you're not too careful slipping a mineral line.
Well,
Speaking of, get salvaged though, did it?
Oh, it did get salvaged and he did no reaction.
Ooh, 4. That's not bad. That is not bad.
Yeah?
Hey, there's no armor here, so these should be visible.
The armory's done,
Oh, there is
man.
an armor. Oh, jeez. Yeah, okay. He did do it this time. Nice.
Oh god. Okay.
He's gonna get it.
Yeah, there's not enough
It's
DPS.
so slow. All right, let's see what happens from here. This is where it starts to get interesting.
Oh my god.
I don't know if he did it on purpose or not.
Yeah. Only...
But he did activate the Widow Mine, which is one drone.
It happened again. So, like, because of this is gonna force MooD on one base economy. I say that, like, oh, he's trying to edge closer. Oh.
And the fact that these Widow Mines are coming out like staggered one at a time, they all fire at a different time, so he can't ever just activate all of them and then go back to mining and wait. He has to like dodge each individual one. But I like how he abandoned his main base and took a lot of workers into his natural. That was pretty good there. So he kept a lot alive. He didn't lose too much.
Yeah.
I don't know who's this more efficient for.
Definitely. Like, I think MooD, he played this really well because Parker Mike, like, if you remember, he was a little more greedy. He didn't have a shield battery at the front. Otherwise, those Marines in that bunker maybe would have been able to, like, force these probes to not be here in the natural. You know, maybe the natural would have been in a much harder position for MooD. So he defended pretty well.
I mean, he must have just really caught... he would have had to caught him really off guard in order for this to work at all, but I mean, it looked like it was off guard anyways, and he still won. Or not won, but it's looking pretty good for him because he has 2 bases already fully saturated, and WhiteIdra's still on 1 base, trying to still go for more harass.
Yeah, we'll see what he can get done. Stim, it's still a ways away. It's not going to be done in time for this drop unless he decides to wait for Stim before he goes for the drop. But we see MooD, like, he's already got detection. He's got 2 observers out on the map. It's going to be a lot harder. Again, like, it worked so well against Parker Mike because Parker Mike went for a proxy, you know? Like, he didn't go for a robot.
Yeah, it's probably the only time this will really work against someone like that. And he does get out of there with most of his army, so that's not bad. Did he drop the factory back in and get it scouted, or is he just scouting with the factory?
He dropped it back in
with the medevac, and he's gonna be able to even get 1 whole Widow Mine out of that. He should have picked it up with the medevac.
Oh yeah, I mean, he was banking on the fact that it would be able to burrow, but it didn't. And the factory goes out.
I mean, yeah, it's funny. I like the way he's trying though, but now this is where it gets rough when it doesn't work. It didn't cause the damage you expected.
Yeah, like, you could definitely say that WhiteIdra, if he wanted to, he probably could have thrown down the CC instead of some of these extra Raxes, but he's committing to the 1 base. He's like, look, I know that I'm not going to be able to. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to, like, beat MooD in a longer game at this point. You know, MooD's good enough for that, so, like, I just have to try and end the game.
We'll see. I mean, it's a tough ask, but who knows? An all-in like this could catch MooD off balance. He might be thinking like, oh, WhiteIdra, he's probably got a 2nd base up. He has vision into the main, but not into the natural. Here he goes. Shield battery just barely finished on time.
Yeah, overcharge being used. I would love this Liberator. Like, it's doing a lot of damage. Blink isn't done, so he's forced to fight in it.
Yeah, Liberator is genius. But I don't think it's enough here. He has 2 full shield batteries.
Yeah.
After wasting shield battery overcharge, and he's making more medevacs. I mean, maybe if he had 2 more Liberators in this army, then maybe.
Yeah, like, the problem with this army is, like, I feel like the Immortal is like a solid backbone, and in a couple of seconds, Blink is gonna be done. Once Blink is done, it's like, oof, then it's rough.
Yeah, I like how he target fired the Immortals down with his, or the Marauders down with his Immortal. Big brain plays there. GG.
GG. With the mana mule at the end. Oh my.
Yeah, that was hilarious. He did that the other game, I believe, as well.
Yeah, I remember.
Mike.
Okay.
But yeah, that was game number 1.
MooD takes game number 1, and again, like, he is the favorite in this series. We'll see if WhiteIdra can slip him up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, today, if I had to say so, I would say it's looking like an easy W for Jim Rising at the end of the day.
Ooh, okay. I mean,
What do you think?
I think his toughest opponent down there, and I can't wait to see it because I'm pretty sure it's guaranteed. Jim Rising versus Pure Legacy in the semifinals.
I feel like Jim's better than that.
I mean, Pure Legacy, he's beaten Eggs pretty consistently, and I would compare Eggs to Jim, so I think it'd be a pretty sick series.
Group. Yeah, that's true. I feel like Jim just plays too scrappy. Eggs was just a solid player. I feel like if you can beat Eggs, that doesn't mean you can beat Jim. But if you can beat Jim, that means you can beat Eggs. Nah, I don't know. I'm just making stuff up now. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I think I just feel bad that Jim got kicked out of the tournament so early on, and I want him to win. It was a rough loss. We were all rooting for him.
Yeah, definitely.
But tomorrow is the finals, right? Of the DreamHack Latin America?
Yeah, that's it. The finals.
It's weird how they dragged it out so gosh darn long.
Yeah, it's
2 series a day for an entire week, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. I that's the part that I don't really like. I mean, I'd be interested to hear from the players if they like it or not, because obviously it means they get like a day to like practice for their next match or like to rest. But I don't know if like that kind of kills some of their momentum, like especially if they're winning and stuff like that, like if they want to keep going, you know?
Yeah. I mean, we just got the news recently, you know, right now before this cast, that someone can't make it due to a whole week spread. So I'm sure most players don't like it, but here we are. We are on Death or LE, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Death or LE is the pink Terran player with the crazy builds. It is WhiteIdra.
And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Death Aura LE, we have the Bolivian Protoss player putting his first building over to the right. I love it. To make sure that doesn't happen again, we have, representing Alpha X, MooD. Okay.
All right. What do we got here? We got some Terran SCVs going out across the map. That is strange. It's going to get scouted, but it's not going to get followed. Just one hit.
Yeah, it's going to be awkward if WhiteIdra throws down a factory, lifts it up, but goes over and sees that the gateway's there, you know? Like,
it's going to be awkward if he sends a probe out. He knows the probe was seen, or the SCV was seen, and then he never shows up to the main base with said SCV. That sounds very suspicious to me. Okay, he sees it. Yeah, he thought it's the same thing. He was like, where's that thing at? And there it is.
Yeah, he's got his eyes on that worker. He's making sure he keeps tabs on it. But again, WhiteIdra, he's just going for an SCV scout. He's just kind of chilling.
Yeah. So no proxy here from WhiteIdra, but I do suspect some cheesery afoot. There we go. There's a cheesery. Oh, he did this last time. He did the factory first, and then he did this fake build, but I believe there was no reaction from Paco Mike when we saw it.
Interesting. Yeah, like I think he was just trying to force out a zealot. Like that's kind of the ideal.
Yeah.
But we do see that immediately MooD, he pulled some workers to kill the SCV, and it's like, yeah, the bunker's not going to finish up. Okay. And to be fair, again, like this isn't a big commitment in any way, shape, or form by WhiteIdra. It's just forces a chrono boost out, forces a unit. As long as he cancels, he's fine. Oh god! No.
F's in the chat, yeah.
F's in the chat.
That's tilting. That's GG.
That's it.
That's it, man. No coming back from that. You don't come back from an unsalvage. You can't salvage a game where you didn't salvage a bunker.
Yeah, and he's still going for the Widowmine first. He's making a Marauder. He has a tech lab. Oh my god. Okay. Huh.
It's a madman.
It's crazy. But he's expanding. Like, it's not like he's gonna go for a big one-base push or anything. I mean, like an all-in or something. It's just an interesting, like, composition of units that he's going for in the beginning.
This is just a really weird 1-1-1.
Yeah, because like typically you have like a 1-1-1, but like into like a Widowmine drop, right? Or like a Banshee or maybe even like a Hellion drop, something like that. But yeah, WhiteIdra.
Guy.
Yeah. It's good for.
He's getting I wonder if he's gonna get concussive shell.
Hmm.
He's only get one Marauder out so far, so I don't think he's super committed to the Marauders.
Yeah, like I think it would be pretty sick if he did get concussive shell and he did go for like a decent amount of Marauders. Because then again, like the Terran army can be pretty scary and they can just like, it doesn't matter if you have an immortal, you know, it can just be focused down.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the concussive shell because it slows down the units, and that's like Protoss's whole thing is they can engage you and then blink out or just walk back slowly into the shield battery that he has at his natural. But good concussive shell, he can slow all that army down and pick off a lot. But he does not. He's gonna push in just as Stem is finishing up. He has one medevac full, and I don't know what he plans to do with this one medevac.
I was about to say, like, a medevac full of stimmed units with Marauders, it feels like maybe you can kill a pylon, right? And like, you know, depower everything. I think that's probably like the ideal.
Oh, that's not bad. There's an Artellus pylon there, so
yeah.
Oh, that's rough.
And he scouted it earlier, you know, like I would imagine that's like the prime target, you know.
I mean, if he knows about it, if he's thinking like that.
Oh.
He could have.
Yo, he's got his Widowmine here as well. Oh,
nice.
Wow.
Nice. He brought that probe just for that, and there he goes. You can get the pylon.
Nice. Look at that.
Nice. Wow. How could you not expect that? What are you doing, MooD?
Beautiful.
But yeah, I mean, not too bad. That does just slow down a lot of the production. But I believe the macro's doing pretty good here for MooD as well. He's in the lead. Almost 10 workers, about 8.
Yeah, like that does slow down any kind of immortal production that he was opting to go for. But what's interesting is that he hasn't really been producing from his robo. He got 1 immortal and like 2 observers and then kind of just chilled out.
Yeah. I'm liking the control here of his medevacs. Maybe he's just like one of those guys who's really good at micro, so that's why he never goes late game.
Yeah, I mean,
bit of micro fights.
Hopefully, he scans the outside the natural. I was about to say he needs to get into the main base because we have a Dark Shrine on the way.
Yeah. I mean, there should be a 3rd CC done by that time, so he should have more than enough scans once he hears the noise.
Hopefully. Again, like DTs, I've seen them just absolutely just win games on their own. So yeah.
I kind of like the little Sim City here for the Terran. Well, now that he moved that base a little bit less, but it was looking like the DTs were gonna have a hard time moving around and surrounding armies, but he is lifting up. Normally you see him like morph it in. Is it morph? What is it called?
Warp?
Form a planetary. Not a planetary. CC. Usually they'll do it at home and then send it over. Let's see, what is he going? He's actually mixing in Liberators now. That's kind of cool. A Liberator and a medevac out at a time. He already has 1 Liberator out. I like the Liberator versus Protoss, especially with this composition MooD's going for.
Oh my god, and I feel like he's doing like the exact opposite of what he normally does. Like he's being a little bit too greedy, I think. He's already working on his 4th CC. Like, mate, you're not even fully saturated on, like, you're barely saturated on 3, you know? Like, calm down a little bit.
How you saturate them faster, you get an extra CC, SCV production going on.
You're not wrong. And would
That's
you
just
see
for extra larva.
Okay, the DTs are in.
And they're out.
One scan gets used, there are 2 more DTs ready to slip in, but immediately missile turrets get started.
Yeah. And he's got this extra base coming up. That means he's going to have even more scans to scan things. There is, however, an observer right above it, observing.
Yep.
Ooh, we'll get scouted with this turret, though. Boom. That's kind of the good thing that MooD has had. His observer has always been doing work this whole game. He's had total vision of everything.
Exactly. Meanwhile, he goes around the left-hand side, forces a lift up as well. The army was just out of position, but he should have enough to deal with this.
Oh man, I feel like he was a little bit too cautious with his Liberators there. But also not too cautious. If he can hold on to that base, hold on to his new base that he just acquired, and continue to produce SCVs. What is going on here? Nice. Well played by both sides on that.
Yeah.
No harm done though by MooD. This is looking like a pretty good matchup here. MooD versus WhiteIdra, making a lot happen here.
Yeah, the DTs are getting into the natural. DTs get caught out. Meanwhile, the army isn't here to protect the mineral lines, so all these SCVs are going to be going down.
That was just free SCVs right there, but I don't know, double that extra base, extra mules, extra SCV production. Maybe he can come back in this.
Yeah,
but as I say, MooD does have a 4th base and going for a 5th base, I think, now here soon.
Yeah, like WhiteIdra, honestly, like I kind of like his army composition. Like he's got 1/1 upgrades already. He's got a lot of Marauders. He's got a lot of Liberators. I feel like he's a little bit. He can be favored. I say that the scariest thing about MooD's army are the charge lots. That's terrifying.
Yeah. I mean, there's no tanks here, so I think charge lots are a little less good. But if you get walled out of your own base, then that is very bad. But now he's actually kind of losing his Zealots for nothing. And that was definitely good for MooD. He's going to have to throw in some more Marauders maybe in there to stop the Zealots.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised. He completely stopped. He has 0 factory production. Like, the factory doesn't have any add-ons, so that's why we're lacking either tanks or Widow Mines.
Yeah, interesting. I didn't think about that. Oh, this Zealot run by is devastating. No defense is left back at home, especially not enough to clean up 1, 2, or 6 Zealots.
Yeah, everything's forced back. You know, the army is already a little bit overstimmed. He's gonna eventually deal with these Zealots, but his economy is hurting so much. It was already hurting, and this definitely isn't helping.
Yeah, and he's just moving these Zealots back and forth, trying to cause as much time as possible, bring the army all the way back into the main base. While MooD just chills on his comfortable 4 bases, getting his Colossus mixed in. Liberators are cool, but they're not gonna be able to do too much against this Colossus army, I don't think.
Yeah.
Start throwing in some Vikings.
Exactly. Like, Liberators are fine and all, but the problem is, like, there are a decent amount of Stalkers. They have Blink. They just blink onto them, deal with them. The economy and the production of WhiteIdra has just really slowed down. I still think that you need to incorporate this factory, you know. Widow Mines are good, right?
Something with it. I think he forgot he has it. It's not queued up.
Look, if it's not proxied across the map, he doesn't care about the factory, okay?
Yeah. He's either gonna use only the factory or not use it at all. Is he gonna get this base lifted up? Force fields, are they gonna be good? Oh, the Liberators are forcing the army not to try and force field. The Zealots weren't even with the army. Actually, the Zealots were just warping in at the same time. He does have a run by going over here, so good hold so far by WhiteIdra. Only losing 2 SCVs and saving the base in that.
Oh yeah, he has to be careful though, as the Liberator does get sniped out of the sky by the Stalkers.
This positioning of his Liberator right there on in between the 2 ramps is perfect. The Zealots are going down as they approach the Marines, and these Stalkers just don't feel like committing to a blink, but they might now.
Yeah, they blink on 4. They're going to be targeting down every single Liberator, and as they all go down, all the Marines, all the Marauders go down as well. It's just medevacs.
GG, well played, and MooD continues on. I feel like MooD didn't take the best engagements there, but MooD had the economy for quite some time. No damage was taken on MooD's side of the map.
You know what? WhiteIdra, he didn't mana mule. I'm proud.
He must have been tilted. Ooh, are you looking at the chat right now?
Oh my god.
We gotta wait for that, right?